Perfect. Okay, so hi, this is Sandra Pelly Sandini. I'm just going to, yeah, here we go. Empowering the Healer Within. This is a membership that I have, and it meets via Zoom 3 times a month. One of these is a book oracle, and I use literally any book. So it's not necessary for you to have a book. I will provide the book on my end. I do use a spiritual how-to, my book, which is available on all the Amazons. But I also use other books. I've used historical romance. I've used vampire books. I've used other spiritual books. And it's really interesting how when you choose a page and I feel into the energy of that page, how the sentence or paragraph that comes up is truly meant for you and whatever's going on in your life at this time. The other 2 Zooms are usually around different spiritual topics and will often include a meditation and readings. In January, we'll be starting to cover these guides going deeper. I'm just going to ask everybody to mute themselves while I'm talking through this, if you don't mind. And then the bonus for joining between November 25th and December 13th and paying for a full year, I have at least one bonus, if not a couple bonuses that are handy. And also too, this is an introductory offer. Membership is $20 US a month or $200 a year. And for anybody who's in my actual programs, Empowering the Healer Within, level 1, level 2, and level 3 is coming up. You guys get that for half price. If you've participated in it, or if you are currently in it, you get the membership for half price. And there's no commitment if you are doing it by month. You literally pay for the month, and that's all you're committed to is the month. And by committed to, I mean what you do, whether you hop on the Zooms or not, is entirely up to you. It's how much value you put on your $20 or what have you that you're in there. Believe me, it's a huge value. You can see that this 8-day guided challenge has been a huge value already. So the same sort of things go on during the membership. I also wanted to talk just real quickly that I do have a couple other one-on-one types of things where they're called vision quests, and that's a 6-week and a 3-month. And of course, the price of those go up significantly because I'm working one-on-one, but the shifts in energy and the rewriting of the energy patterns is massive. So today is the 8-day Meet My Guides, day 6 relation guide. This is my incredible son and his daughter, and you could just feel the energy in this picture. It puts a big grin on my face as well. Beautiful, beautiful relationship the two of these two have. And here's my incredible husband. He is shaking hands with whoever is there in this beautiful energy. So let's step into this, aligning ourselves. I align myself this day with my higher self. For the highest good and the greatest good of all. We're going to step right into the relationships portion. So when I looked up relationships in the dictionary, this is what was listed: a connection, association, or involvement. As well, a connection between persons by blood or marriage. And it's also an emotional or other connection between people, such as students and teachers. Even it could be employees and employers, depending on what the job situation was. Oh, I guess it would be period, because you have a relationship with them. When I talk about relationships, the thing that really stood out most profoundly for me was something that happened to me in 2017. And I'm going to cover that on the next page. But it has to do with hugging. And the word hug, which was originally hugga, dates back to 1560 and meant to comfort. Very, very powerful. And because a hug is meant to comfort in most cases, unless you're getting a bear hug and then it's very uncomfortable. A hug is a nonverbal communication or connection. It's been shown to reduce blood pressure and raise oxytocin levels, which are in part feelings of love. The next thing too is we'll often see people who are possibly walking around with their arms wrapped around oneself in an attempt to feel better or to to get warmed up. That was me last night. I was quite chilled walking between our vehicle and the store, and after having ridden that ride, so I was quite chilled. The when we see someone, and we can, a number of us are empaths, so we feel a lot of the energy. So when you are feeling the energy of what's going on around you, and you see somebody who literally has their arms wrapped around themselves, understand that they are attempting to feel better, and offer them a hug. Offer them a hug. I mean, there's nothing wrong with offering a hug. They can refuse, by all means. And I want to talk about the 21-second hug. The 21-second hug was created by Dr. Love, and I'm unfamiliar with what his name is right now. I did go and look him up, but I couldn't find him because so many people are jumping on his bandwagon of this 21-second hug. And it starts with a B, and I can't remember what his name is. He's very, very brusque. He's quite a verbally loud man, but he talks about the 21-second hug. It takes 21 days to create a habit. So I love the 21 seconds. I also wanted to really point out the numbers that are involved with 21. 2 is about balance, and 1 is about that empowering of oneself, the power of oneself. So when you bring those together, imagine bringing balance into your life. A hug will bring balance even momentarily into your life at that moment. And 2 and 1 go together as 3, which is all about our higher self, physical body, and little you, the me, myself, and I, the past, present, and future. And it's bringing all of these things together in that 21-second hug. So a hug can change a moment. So this is where I'm going to tell you about the 2017 Living in the Energy of Feeling Good. When I listened to 2 of my mentors, Marilyn Aloria and Dee Wallace, on a Jennifer McLean show, she had one of these like master classes on, and it was remarkable listening to them because they both spoke about living in the energy. And if you've done any work with me, or if you've been listening on these, especially yesterday's with the abundance, we did the work of living in the energy of what it would feel like 3 months, 6 months, and a year from now. So what I did is I really wanted to feel into the energy of what was living in the energy, because they weren't very clear when they were speaking about it. So I decided that I would explore this myself. And I started to feel into the energy of a happy moment. So if you don't mind, just take a moment to feel the energy of a happy moment. And if you're having difficulty with that, bring into mind something that makes you happy. If it's a flower, if it's a puppy, if it's a child, feel into the energy of that. And take a nice breath. Notice a feeling in your heart, in your belly, possibly on the hair in your arms, your face. That feels really nice. That's what living in the energy is. It's feeling an energy, feeling a good energy, feeling a positive energy especially. So what I did was I really wanted to step into that in a much further way and explore what would happen with this. And I actually was using a hug as an example. That's why I brought up hugs. And at the time, I was having some relationship problems. And what I chose to do was feel into the energy of a hug and really step into that hug in a more profound way. I mean, I've been a hugger for as long as I remember, and so many people have said they love my hugs, but I really wanted to shift into a more, what's the word I want to use? A more conscious way of hugging. So what I did was I felt into a memory that I had. And this memory happened to be of my husband and I in Jamaica. And just an incredible memory. And what I did was I felt into the energy of that memory and was truly committed, and I could feel it to the very core of myself. And as I was feeling it to the very core of myself, my husband came home from work and I gave him a hug. And it was really interesting because it was just like, okay, I get a hug from him. But every day that he came home from work, I continued to do this type of hug. And on the third or fourth day, I actually remember the physical feeling of how his heart, his soul reacted, awoke to my hug, and how his embrace then shifted and changed entirely as well. It was remarkable. It was one of those things that I will never forget, because it was just such an incredible response, such an incredible connection that occurred. So that's what I really wanted to tell you about, because I think a hug can be so important in many different cases. Okay. So we also have to respect that there's the hugger and the non-hugger. I'm very much a hugger. I will hug everybody if I could. I remember being on a mountain bike trail in Banff, Alberta, and it was a hiking trail around Minnewanka Lake, I believe is the name of it. Anyway, I was riding up the hill. My husband was just a bit ahead of me, and we met this fairly large group of senior citizens, ranging from probably 70 to 95 years of age. It was incredible to witness these guys out hiking. And it was a group of about 20 or 30 hikers. And I actually asked one of them if I could hug one of them. And it literally started a line where I was hugging almost every soul that walked by. There were a few that refused the hug. But for the most part, I hugged a good percentage of that crowd. And it felt so good. And it made their days as well. So truly respecting the space of the hugger and the non-hugger. I also wanted to talk about distant hugs and connection. This is why I've been kind of leading all the way up to this with the different things that I've been saying. I talked about the 21-second hug, and then I've spoken about the living in the energy of feeling good. And now distant hugs and the connection that we can make with that. A distance hug is a hug that I can send from myself to you, even though we are not in the same room and we're not physically touching. And you can do this with other people that are out and around, or you can actually do it higher self to higher self, or you can do this with your little you. You can do this with a loved one who's passed away. You can do these hugs with anybody you want. So what I would love for you to do is to have in your mind a person, or even a couple people, it doesn't matter, whether they're currently living or have passed away. What I would like for you to do is just connect with their higher self. And it's as simple as asking to connect, or just envisioning them in front of you. And just feel into the energy of them being there. What I'd like for you to do now is to bring in that incredible happy feeling that you felt when I first started talking about living in the energy and feeling a hug. So feel into that energy. Beautiful. Now what I would like for you to do is to wrap your energetic arms around that person and give them a hug. If you want, you could ask that person if they'd like a hug. I know the people that I have brought forward love hugs, so I'm good with not asking them. But if you feel the need to ask them, then feel free to ask them. And if they don't want to hug, hold their hand. Just hold their hand and feel the love that is flowing from you, through you, to either your hand or that hug that you're giving them. And I'm going to recite a mantra. And this mantra is roughly 21 seconds long. So this is how long you're going to hug for. I am love. I am loved. I am loving. I love me. I love you. Beautiful. You can do that hug with anybody. You could do that with your pets energetically. You can do that with employees, employers, co-workers, reaching out into the energy and just doing it with whomever you like. And even if you are in a bus going somewhere and you see a homeless person beside the road, you've now got that image of that homeless person in your mind. You could send out a hug to that person and give them a hug. Believe me, the energy of feeling that hug is very powerful. There's many times when I've reached out to a client in a moment where they are struggling, or even my own children, and I've literally told them, I'm sending you a hug. And I do take the time to do that hug, to feel that hug, to at least do 21 seconds of a hug. And when they get that text saying that that hug is there waiting for them, and they receive that hug when they're ready to receive that hug. Okay? Very, very powerful. Before I go any further, does anyone want to ask any questions about that, the hugging? Unmute yourself if you do. We're all good? Okay. So relationships, again, it's blood family and chosen family. You know what? We're all born into specific families, and we truly have no choice about those families. And then there's the chosen family. What's really interesting about that, and I'm going to go into paths a little bit here too, is when we're born, well, and it's not even when we're born, it's apparently through every lifetime, there are 50 different people that we make very strong connections with, even if they're just for a few minutes or whether they're for years. There are 50 people in our lifetime now that have been in our lifetime in every single lifetime that we've ever lived. And we've always shifted and changed and become different people in each of our lifetimes, but so too have they. So where we have a husband today, that husband may have been an employer or an employee in the past, or we may have been the brother or the husband ourselves in the past, or the child or the grandparent, or the person who's just stepped in and made that really concrete connection, but was just in our life for half an hour, but it's one of those people that have made a huge difference in our lives because we remember the energy of them. So those, even though we have this blood family that we're born into in this lifetime and every single lifetime, there's also those chosen families. And those chosen families are those people who are our close friends, those people who we make very strong connections with. And I know that for myself, some of those shift in and out as well. You'll have somebody who's very close to you during one part of your life, but as you shift and as they stay the same and stagnant, or as they shift through something, those relationships change and we become further apart, or we come closer together. And it's just this beautiful balance, this beautiful flow of energy that's happening between all of us with these families, and both the blood family and the chosen family. And it's comical because here I said this beautiful relationship. Blood family, sometimes those relationships aren't so beautiful, but they are there for a reason. They're happening for a reason, and they are to help us evolve on our own paths. And I think many of you have probably experienced different things in your lifetimes with blood family, and can certainly understand where I'm coming from. My sister and I, yes, we get along, but do we actually have a relationship? I really feel that we don't have a very good relationship at all. But my relationship with my children is surpasses anything I could have ever hoped to have. And same with my relationship with my husband now. And that relationship with my husband, I really feel, has a lot to do with me shifting in my energies and really starting to bring a different energy to our relationship, as well as dropping expectations. So paths and control, and letting go and control. We all have paths, that we are on. And like I said about the blood family, those paths, I have my path. My children each have their own paths. I look at one of my kids and the energy that I would love for her to pick up and really start to do the stuff that I teach. I think it would change her life dramatically. Can I shove this down her throat and make her do it? Not at all. Do I put it out there so that it's available for her? Yes, I do. When and if she'll ever pick up the stuff that I put down for her is entirely up to her. It's her path. However, I am here when she is in need and she reaches out for energetic help. So I have essentially let go of the control of whatever she's going to do because it's out of my control. I can't control it. But what I have done is I have left tools laying around for her to use. I've left energetic cords back and forth to her and I that are there for her so she can reach out and touch base with me. And it gives me some sense of control of my own energy. Okay, very important to understand the difference in those controls. I am no longer trying to make her do something and change her life. She's the director, the creator of her own life, just like I'm the creator of my own life. But what I've done is that I've let her walk that path, knowing that she has support, knowing that she can reach out. And that alone has helped her to shift through her own things because she can feel the love coming from me. And she knows that I'm here to help her, support her very energetically in many different ways. So that's huge. And that letting go and the control shift of that, it's quite a unique position to understand. And then there's a relationship with yourself. So that's, I think, really what it really comes down to. Any relationship that we have is going to be dictated by the relationship that we have with ourselves personally. If we are saying derogatory or negative things to ourselves, we can hardly expect somebody else to be saying something good about us, okay? We have to be in a position where we're comfortable saying positive things to ourselves, okay? We have to be in the position where we have stepped into self-love. And stepping into self-love is something that is really starting to slowly creep into North America in a much bigger sense. Just by even my own indication of going and looking for this Dr. Love at the beginning of our class on the 21-second hug. I mean, he is so far down there now, and it's so evident that people are really jumping on board with this self-love and the 21-second hug by the search engine. So it is starting to sweep the nation. We will change the energy of North America as we change the energy within ourselves for ourselves. Really, truly understand the power of that. It is huge. It is absolutely huge. So that I am love mantra is massive, is really, really super powerful. And stepping into that mantra and saying that or writing it and breathing it every single day will shift your energy towards being in a better place. It has the power to change your life. However, it only has the power to change your life if you choose to step into doing it and breathing it every single day. I have been doing this now for 2 years. My life has changed dramatically. Yes, there's a lot of things that have also come into play to change my life to getting to where I am now in my travel trailer in Phoenix, Arizona, instead of the snowland of Canada. However, it really starts with that self-love. We can't go from point A to point Z or Z if you're Canadian or American. But if we go to B, that next step, and then C and D and E, then we will get to Z way quicker than if we just see the insurmountable difference between those 2 points and have no idea how to get there. So when we step into that point B from A with doing that simple mantra, the I am love mantra, we are beginning the steps of change, and we are working towards a better relationship with ourselves. The I think, some of us are coming into different parts of our lives. We want relationships with people and stuff, but again, I really want to emphasize that the best relationship that you can start with is that relationship that you have with yourself, because that is the one that's going to empower the right kind of relationship to happen around you with the other people, with a loved one who's already in your life, with a hoped for loved one that's coming into your life, the employee-employer relationships, the student-teacher relationships, the relationships that we have with our children and friends. It all truly starts with how you feel about yourself, okay? So the two mantras are really important. And that's that I am love, and the other one is I am open, okay? So just before we pop into going into the meditation, does anybody have any questions with that? Because I'm going to open the meditation by doing those two mantras. Any questions? We're good? Everybody's good? You guys are great today. All the questions are for the end, I guess. Okay, so we're going to step into the meditation. This is my granddaughter and my husband in the back alley by my son's house. And she saw her grandpa and she just literally ran full bore for him. And you can just see the joy, the exuberance coming through on this picture, and the love that my granddaughter has for my husband. And that's what we want for ourselves. Feel the joy of that little you who loves you so immensely. Feel the joy of that higher self who loves you so immensely as well. So having said that, let's step into our meditation. I'm going to turn off my camera. There we go. I'm going to have a drink of water. Everybody else, if you have water with you, please feel free to have a drink right now. There we go. Okay. And so I will start the meditation on relationships. Take a nice breath. However you breathe is absolutely fine. And feel into these two mantras. I am love. You could even embrace yourself while you're doing this. I am love. I am loved. I am loving. I am lovable. I love me. I am divine love. I am open. With no expectations. No limitations. And I am okay with the outcome. This or something better. Connect with your higher self and your little you. Accept, trust, and believe. Have a sense of knowing that you are truly connected with your higher self and your little you. They're very much a part of you. This is very foundational, this work, this higher self and little you. Your little you is standing in front of you, and in her hands is this beautiful heart that she's created and made for you. Accept that with graciousness and with gratitude. Your heart is in your hands. Feel the beautiful energy. Feel how it has this incredible vibration, and that your heart actually looks like a ripple of water that's expanding out from it. Feel into the beautiful motion of moving forward on those ripples, how they're ever expanding, just like when you throw a rock in the water. And as you're following that expansion of ripples, feel how this beautiful energy field is answering with this accumulation of positive ripples coming back towards you, and how those are mingling. And at the spot that they're mingling, there's a beautiful burst of energy, just like a little star. And directly in front of you, one of these stars, when it bursts into that little bright light, it actually continues to grow and grow and expand. And as it grows, it becomes about 6 feet tall, this bright light. Possibly even bigger. Yes, actually, it's very much bigger. It's like 9 feet. It's a fair size, bright beacon of light. Feeling into the energy of that. This very much feels as though it has ties to very, very, very far away. A multiverse, a universe very, very far away from our own. But this is a beautiful beacon that has come to you. Feel the energy of this beacon. Feel the love that it is exuding for you. And as you follow your ripples closer to it, feel the energy of how inviting it is to you. And how there's a step up into this beautiful light. And step into the excitement of stepping into this light. And as you step into this light, it's as though the whole world lights up. The whole, it's hard to say. It's not like the light, the world. It's like, it's like space. The whole space has lit up this beautiful bright light. And it's so warm and it feels so comfortable. Feels like coming home. And as you're in this beautiful light, you get the sense of all of these light beings in here, in this space, this sacred, beautiful space, this consciousness. And as you get the feeling of all of these beautiful light beings, one of them steps forward to greet you. This is your relationship guide. They may be presenting themselves in human form or angelic form or in a form that is unnatural to the human eye. Whatever form is comfortable and feels good for you, just allow that to be. Whether you physically can see or feel that image, know that that image is there. You could actually picture a picture, an image in your mind, if you like, of what that was. Being open with no expectations, no limitations, and being okay with however this light being is presenting itself. They offer their hand to you. You accept, and with love, they would like to embrace you. And if you are willing for a hug, then continue with that embrace. Hmm. Your relationship guide is expressing words of the miracle of who you are, the amazingness of who you are, the wonder of who you are, the value of who you are. That you are part of this beautiful collective, this beautiful loving energy. That you are part of all of this loving energy. If you have questions to ask your relationship guide, ask those questions now. Be concise. They may be answering with words or images, the first thoughts that pop into your mind. Know that the questions you are asking are being answered for the highest good and for the most benevolent reasons. Your relationship guide would like you to have a seat. Feel into the energy of what you're being sat on. Feel the comfort, the warmth, and your relationship guide sits with you. A piece of them is on your knee, whether they are have hands or whether it is like this beautiful flow of energy, but feel the energy on one of your knees. And feel how that energy is flowing down through your leg into the ground, towards Mother Earth, to the core. I'm feeling this beautiful energy flowing up as well into your heart space. And how it's coming up, and it's like this beautiful lighthouse effect happening with your third eye. And this beautiful lighthouse effect is creating or is seeing or is feeling these images that are like on screens in front of you. And there are 4 different screens in front of you. The first screen to the left shows you as a small child, playing and truly enjoying the moment. Feel into the energy of that, whatever that child is doing. Hmm. And as you're in that energy, feeling the energy of that, send in some beautiful healing energy. Know that this beautiful healing energy that is coming through has awoken that part of your little you so that it may be healed. Feel how willing your little you is. And as you're looking at that screen with the little you there, feel how you are now as well in that photo or in that image on the screen, and that you are playing with your little you. And then your attention is drawn to that second screen. And on that second screen is you as a older child or teenager. Again, that image is actually one where they are feeling very good about themselves. It may be an outfit. It may be something they've accomplished. It may be something they're doing. Feel into the energy of that person who is you at that age. Feel yourself being drawn into that picture so that you can positively reinforce the incredibleness of whoever you were at that age. For some of you, this may bring up a lot of emotion. That's all right. Accept the support of yourself for yourself. We are our own personal best relationship. Feel how the energy of that child or teenager in that image is blossoming because of what you have come in and said to them. And now you're coming to look at that third screen. And that third screen is today, this present moment. Feel into the energy of seeing yourself, how you are in your eye today. The positive things about yourself today. How far you've actually come. That you are a survivor. That you are capable. Feel how the energy of those first two images are coming up towards and into that physical you. Some of you may have actually felt a physical shift in your body with that. Step into that picture and offer to embrace the you of now. Congratulate yourself on getting this far, for accepting what's come through from the other two images of the little you and the teenage you. How incredible you are. Feel how those three parts of you are really coming together and giving you so much strength, are empowering you. Feel the glory of that. Feel the new power of that. Feel how incredible you actually are. Now turn and look at that fourth screen, that future you. That future you is marvelous. That future you represents the incredible you that you are on your way to being. Allow that image to soak in. Feel the power of that image. Being open again with no expectations, no limitations, and being okay with this outcome or something better. And as you look upon yourself in this fourth image, feel the magic of who you are. Feel the power of who you are. Feel the possibilities. And your relationship guide whispers something in your ear. And as you are there with your relationship guide, give thanks for all that you have been and all that you will be. Give thanks to that guide for showing you how incredible you actually are. And ask your relationship guide what you can do, how can you connect, or what should you watch for to continue on this path. Hmm. And give thanks. And you both stand up and embrace again and feel that love. Some of you may want to make a promise to yourself. And that beautiful relationship guide steps away from you and joins the beautiful crowd of light beings. But look at that relationship guide. It shines brighter for you, that one, than all the rest. That relationship guide is you. That is the highest representation of your soul wanting the best for you. Feel the power of that. Thank yourself for stepping into this. And as you come back to this beautiful space, this here and now, this present moment, feel into the energy of who you are, the possibilities of who you will be. As you sink more fully into your physical body, coming back to the here and now. And so it is. Thank you. Now we are already at the hour. Are you, for those of you who are unable to continue, thank you so much for joining us. I truly would love to sit here and hear what has happened for each of you or hear any questions that you may have. I'm perfectly willing to do that. I love doing this work with all of you anyway, and the energy that we have going right now is just so remarkable. For those of you who are unable to stay, thank you so much for being here with us. And oh, bye, Colleen. Otherwise, I would love to hear what some of you have to say. Maria?
Oh, yes. I don't really know what to say, what to share. What do you want me to?
Okay, let me start with maybe how it happened there. I found it very interesting how on some of the other ones, okay, higher self and little you were obvious, right? But when we got to the creative guide, the abundance guide, and that, and the grounding guide, how I felt like we should ask what the name of this guide was. In this one, it was almost as though I was wondering why we were not being asked to ask their name. And then it became so clear when it became that representation of ourselves. I was blown away by that. Um, that light being to me was just fantastic, absolutely fantastic. And the images that I saw on those screens, that feeling of what those images were really quite remarkable. The that first one, the little you, was really intriguing for me because at first it felt like was up a slide and I fell off, and then in the next moment I was actually down on the ground playing. So I'm not clear on what was going on there, because obviously if you're falling off a slide, it's not a happy event. But then I was playing and just bringing the love in, and that it was just so beautiful. So it was quite interesting, and just seeing myself in those different images, especially that future one, was really really very very powerful. There.
Okay. Yes. Yes, I agree. This light being, the energy was very high, and I didn't see a person either. Just a sort of an almost angelic thing.
Yeah.
I could feel the energy. It was flowing, softly flowing, and yes, and the images felt good. I mean, the little you, so it was easy. Find positive things about, and
Good.
the older one, the teenager, I was going a little bit back and forth because I was searching for some time when I could feel good about myself. But I managed, actually. I did. So that felt good. And I remember how strong you can feel in that age, actually.
Beautiful.
Yeah, yeah. And the future me, yes, I didn't see anything, but I felt very strong how I want to feel, or how I will be feeling, I would say, because it's just part of me already somewhere.
Yes.
It's
Wow.
hidden inside. Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing. I think that's really important to understand, is that it's part of us, inside of us right now. For sure.
Yeah.
You hit it right perfect there. Thank you very
Yes.
much for sharing, Maria.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Marie, how about yourself? You
I
have to,
think she does.
no, Marie is there. She'll have to unmute herself though. Oh, you think she's left? Okay. Shen-Chi, did you like to share, or were you just listening? I know she might be at work or out of country. So, how about yourself, Cynthia? You'll have to unmute yourself.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yeah. Okay. Well, the first image that came to me was that of a shepherd. And when you asked to have um, the guide take my hand, um, my hand was, he held my hand and put one hand on the top of my hand and his other hand on the bottom. I remember that. And then, let me see here. I had a couple childhood image come to me, but it was positive in the respect that it let me remember how much I really cared about people even back at that age, but it was not positive in the way that it taught me that. And teenage years, I had a couple images come to me of positive things that happened, and my adult, I kind of had trouble with the future self, so I didn't really get. I had more positive feelings, but I didn't really see any kind of images or anything.
Okay. Okay, and that's fine. Like, I think it's really important to understand that you had the positive feelings,
Mhm.
really working with that will help you to move forward in towards that uh, empowered future self, I guess. Okay. If you don't get an image, or if you fail to get an image of what yourself is in the future, that's understandable. We have no idea what we're actually going to look like or be like in the future, right?
Mhm.
But that feeling is really important. So that was beautiful. Thank you. Okay. That's everything. Viorica?
Sorry, I have to listen to do the reply because my dog started barking, so I missed
Ah,
at the beginning. So I have to do it. Usually he sleeps at this time, but today no. When you start the meditation, he starts barking.
oh, that's too funny.
Yeah.
So, and you know what? I really strongly believe that dogs bark when we're doing something to let us know that we're being heard. So, so your energy, your soul energy, it was recognizing that it was being heard. Okay. So if you anybody whatever happens during this, if you feel the need to go back and re-listen to it so that you can get a better idea, or so that you can empower yourself more, or so that you can see what else comes up through that, feel free to. I mean, that's why we've got these, right?
Yeah, I have to re-listen because no, I missed the first part. So
Okay, not a problem. How about yourself, Claudine?
Um, Still new to this, so I was envisioning my spirit guide in a very clearly in the desert. It's very bright out, and the sand was like diamonds. It's white sand. It's this beautiful egg rock, white rock, huge. And in front of it was a binary person because it was neither male nor female.
I love
Or
that.
distinguish the sex. It didn't matter to me. In this see-through captain, kind of sheer, but it didn't divulge any personal body parts. It just was,
Yes.
and it shined, and it. I don't remember. I know there was a head, but I don't remember a face to it. But it was a feeling that I had that this person was very loving and accepting of me and wanting me to come forward.
Mm.
And then when you asked me to hug my person, I had no problem whatsoever going into his or their arms.
Yes.
I got a bear hug. I need a bear hug. I mean, not all the time, but I mean, right at that moment in time when I envisioned that, I really needed almost to be tackled in a hug.
Wow.
So that I held for a long time. I held that hug longer, even when he left the to the next whatever called. And also when you were giving us affirmations to say prior to the vision, asking to see our vision, our spiritual guide.
Right.
I said my affirmations to myself out loud, and my cat is sitting here, and she just looked sat up, which she doesn't do. She's very much a sleeper cat, and she just looked at me the whole time. And so then I found myself giving her those same. I don't know. You talked about dogs, but cats mean a lot to me too, and I just felt a lot of her love and energy too. I felt a lot of energy there in her. And I don't know, I know it was real.
Oh, yeah.
I know it wasn't some strange projection I was making. It was,
yeah.
an animal energy source for me, along with my plants, and trees, which are around me right now. So that's where I looked when I was doing my affirmations to myself and for myself. And I guess that's kind of all I remember.
Beautiful. That's beautiful.
Mhm.
Thank you for participating for the first time too. I appreciate you
Yeah.
being here.
Thank you. Thank you.
Everybody, that was absolutely remarkable. This one about relationships, I think, before I started the meditation, I think I made it pretty clear that relationships really start with ourself. And as we step into that, how we care about ourselves, the other relationships that happen around us will unfold a lot more naturally. And I guess if there's no more questions, I will leave you guys to it, and you'll re-listen to any of these as you see fit. The emails come out and they have all the links in them, and we will see you guys tomorrow morning. Thank you. Love you guys. Take care. I gotta find my end meeting here. End meeting. There we go. Okay, take care. Love you guys.